Hey guys, good morning and welcome to question time number 3. How are you doing today, Mark? You alright?
Yeah, so far so good.
Are you ready for the questions?
I suppose I've spent most of my professional career learning how to answer these types of questions. So yeah, hopefully I've got the answer.
Legally, when you say profession, don't you have to do that? Professional career.
I had that from my physiotherapist, and he was like, "Oh, so when are you going to get a real job?" I was like, "What?
Yeah, when are you going to get a real job?
Are you kidding?"
Let's have this talk, Mark. Come on, let's sort out your let's sort your life out, yeah.
Yeah. So how is Mark? How are you feeling?
No, other than I bet your throat's feeling a little bit sore from the coughing still.
Oh, the cursed cough just never goes away. It is getting better.
Good.
And I'm having less and less cough syrup sort of every morning, but
more and more heroin.
Yeah. That's it. I'm sort of weaning off of it, but no, it's just one of these lingering things, and unfortunately, talking brings it on. So.
It's a good job. You have a job where you don't need to talk that much. Oh, wow.
Yeah. My selected profession is talking in front of a camera.
Cool, man. All right, let's crack on. Let's crack on with the first question, which is from Stephen Plaxton Smith. Awesome name. He left a comment on the Scuba Gear for Beginners video and goes, "Where in the UK can you train to be able to service scuba equipment?"
It's not like a standard course. The way, I think it's different in sort of different countries, but here in the UK, you actually have to be associated to a dive centre. So you basically have to work for a dive centre, and then they send you on a course. But it is sort of brand manufacturer specific. So myself, my first course was a Apex Aqualung course. So I was working for a dive center, and they're like, "Oh, we want to sort of train you up how to service dive equipment." The brands will do so many like sort of equipment technician courses throughout the year. So Scuba Pro will do sort of 1 or 2 courses throughout the year. Apex Aqualung, they'll do sort of they'll do one. Well, actually, no, now they do it digitally, so that's actually a lot easier. But it's not for the general public. You have to be associated with the dive center, and then as soon as you leave that dive center, you actually lose that accreditation.
Qualification.
The qualification.
That's the last thing they do. They put your certification in the shredder. You're dead to us. You left us.
Yeah, I think it's quite strict. I think in other countries, maybe you can just learn how to do it. But yeah, here in the UK, you have to be associated with the dive centre, and then you have to sort of go on one of these courses that only happens twice a year or something. So it's not that easy to become a qualified technician in the UK.
It's actually triggered something, a memory that I had. I'm actually certified. Well, I guess I'm not, because I'm not with the company, but I am with the company. I'm certified for Apex regs, Scuba Pro, I think.
Scuba Pro, you would have had to have gone on a course.
Yeah, I've done that. And Sunto, I did. To change the batteries and pressures and all that sort of thing. And there was another thing I'd done. I can't remember. So I'm more qualified than this guy. That's worrying. Not that I would know what to do. Here you go, Sean. Build this reg. Where's the hammer? I need to smack it.
Yeah. No, it's called a precision adjustment tool number 1.
Okay, cool. And also, I forgot to actually mention that today's video is sponsored by our very own Teespring store. I am on it today.
Yep.
I have not had my coffee.
You are hosting.
Cool, I am hosting. Yeah, I am. But yeah, okay, that's cool. On to question 2, Mark. Unless you want to add anything else?
No.
Okay, so basically go work at a dive centre and you'll get sorted.
Yeah.
Right, so this next one is from Christos ZS. Again, that's a YouTube username, should we say. He left a comment on 6 things you need for a night diving. He goes, "Hey Mark, what's your opinion on the Orca Torch D830 or D830 as a primary light?"
it's okay. It's quite old. I don't think they make the 830 anymore. They're on like the 850 now. But it's quite a stubby little thing. It'll be fine. It's not as sort of powerful as like modern torches are. You'll probably find you can get a cheaper, newer torch that's even more powerful. So,
what would you recommend other than that then?
One of the 500 series. I mean, the Orca torch, I've got a D5 10 or something that they sent me, and that's like 1,000 lumens, but the 830 was about 800 lumens, I think. So I think that there are better modern torches out there than the 830, if that's what you meant to type.
There's the 830. Is that the candle one?
Yeah. You light a candle, you then sort of screw the thing up, and then depending on how much oxygen is in that small little canister, that's how long your burn time is.
You attach it to your cylinder to feed some air.
Oh, can you imagine? Oh, I'm diving on nitrox. Woof.
Cool. Okay, so it's a bit old, mate. Maybe look at a newer model, basically.
Yeah, I mean, if you found one on like eBay or something that's like ridiculously cheap, then it should be perfectly fine. But actually, you can buy a brand new torch, which has probably got higher specs, probably for decent amounts nowadays.
Cool. All right. Sweet. Hope that helps out. So the next question is from JP Bartra. And this is from Instagram directly. So he slid into our DMs. He says, "Hi guys, I'm considering taking a liverboard in the Red Sea, but I normally take seasickness pills and any Biodramin or whatever it's called to avoid getting seasick on the diving day. Any tips on how to get rid of this situation?" Mark, you're the doctor. You got a PhD.
Seasickness. Seasickness is rough, and luckily I've been very, very lucky in that I've never had any problems with seasickness. It kind of depends how badly you have it. I mean, a liverboard will be better than a day boat because they're naturally larger. They don't tend to kind of rock as much, but they will still rock at times. I mean, the usual things apply. Try and be as try not to go below deck if you can avoid it. So try and make sure that you get a cabin at least sort of as high as possible. Lots of fresh air. Try not to go inside too much. Try and stay in the middle of the boat. If you go too far to like the port or the starboard side, then that's where most of the rocking is actually going to occur. Whereas in the middle, even if it is rocking, you're not going to move quite as much. Reduce your sort of alcohol intake and all sort of greasy foods and all that kind of stuff. Try and stay sort of nice and healthy. I've heard that sort of salt crackers were quite popular with sort of mariners. I presume that helps. One other thing that I've read is sort of actually quite positive, is literally telling yourself that you're not going to get seasick on this sort of trip. Apparently a lot of it is sort of psychological. So if you go into that situation and think, oh God, I'm going to regret this is going to be awful, then you're probably going to get seasick. But if you go into it with like, now, you know what, I'm not going to get seasick on this sort of dive trip. It's going to be perfectly fine. I think I'm over it. I'm doing everything that I can. As long as you have that sort of positive mental attitude, apparently that makes a huge difference as well. But yeah, the usual things of sort of lots of fresh air, try and avoid anything with too sort of pungent a smell, and when it does, if the boat sort of does start to rock, then try and get in the middle of the boat, and try and get as much of the fresh air as possible. But that's kind of it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very sensible. Very sensible.
Yeah.
Answers there.
Luckily, I've never had a problem with it, so I can't personally attest and was like, oh, this works for me. It's
well then, let's branch out, guys. You're listening right now.
Yeah,
if you suffer from seasickness, you got any tips, pop it down in the comments. Do you want to hear my silly answer to that question?
Oh no, what?
So you were saying that you need to be in the central of the boat. Obviously, that makes a lot of sense. You want to be central. You need to be as top as possible to get as much fresh air. So either get yourself a bivvy or a sleeping bag and sleep on top of the boat.
Well, that's what a lot of people do.
So
they literally, if they have a cabin below deck, they'll literally grab their duvet and their pillows, and they'll just carry them to the top deck and just sleep up there.
I thought I was being silly, but it turns out it's a thing.
Touch wood, I haven't seen someone bring a hammock yet.
That'd be good.
I used to sleep in a hammock quite a lot, but I've never done it on a liverboard.
Well, next liverboard we go on, because I reckon the next one we go on, I'm gonna come.
All right.
Whether you invite me or not, I'm just gonna turn up.
I'll just unzip my bags. Like, what the hell?
I just run out. Ooh, scared you. I'm hungry. You got any chips?
Where's all my dive kit?
I've got a hose. It's fine. Anyway, okay, cool, right. So I hope that helps out. But yeah, you got any tricks or tips about seasickness and liverboards, guys? Let's help them out in the comments below. So the next question is from Tim Gosling, who is Ryan Gosling's brother. So that's the bit of Hollywood touch there.
Tim.
Yeah, Tim. He asks, he put a question on question time number 2. It says, "Hi guys, as a potential new side mount diver, congratulations. I'm looking at the WSX-25 harness and wing. Perhaps you could answer a couple of questions. First, is 25 pounds of lift enough? And second, on that harness, what would be the best way to mount the canister battery light? Grateful for any advice."
Yeah, I mean, £25. It's enough for a lot of setups, but it's dependent on your setup. If you're carrying like 4 steel 12-litre tanks, then no, it probably won't be enough. But it will be enough for sort of a bunch of sort of 11-litre alleys. But so lift isn't as simple as just, is it enough? You need a lot more sort of information. But 25 is the smaller wing. They also do a 45, which is, you just have more than enough lift. But yeah, it's not as easy as just saying, of course, 25 pounds is more than enough for anything. It depends on your weighting and your overall buoyancy. So if you jump in the water and you naturally sink, if you need more than 25 pounds of sort of lift to stop you from sinking, then yes, you need a larger wing. It's not as simple as just it's 25 pounds. It's one of those. It depends on what you're using, but yeah, they wouldn't make it if it wasn't enough lift. It's a hard concept to kind of explain. It's it depends what you're diving on, basically. And where to mount a canister light battery, just in the small of your back, also on the crotch strap, you'll be able to fit like a plate or something, or a couple bungees, just to attach it just in the small of your back. That's where most people put it. It's out of the way, but you can still access it pretty easily, and the cable doesn't get in the way of anything.
Cool, nice one.
Yeah.
Hope that helps you out. That's very. Do we have any? Have we done? We've done some. We must have done some sort of side mount advice videos.
Probably. I don't know.
If I do, one's just popped up right here. That might help you out. Watch that. If not, as I say, just do a bit more research.
Yeah, lifts. It's hard to say without knowing what you're diving on. What will be enough? There's so many different factors. It's hard to say if it will just be, is it enough?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So before we carry on with the questions, obviously today's episode of Daily Deco, question time number 3, is sponsored by our very own Teespring store. So if you want to stand out of the crowd, if you are looking for a present for a loved one this Christmas, you can save yourself a bit of wonga thanks to the offer that I'm now going to talk about. So yeah, like I said, our Teesprings, we got t-shirts, we got snoods, phone cases, bags, masks, you name it. It's pretty much, I think the only thing we don't have at the moment are leggings, which probably...
No. I did look at leggings, but they're quite tricky to design.
Yeah. And our design forte is not the caliber of a graphic designer.
No.
We're nowhere near anything like that.
We're better with written word.
Well, I'm not better with written word. I'm better with cutting up boxes in Premiere Pro and sliding them into place. That's my skill set. Anyway, completely off the subject. You can now get 15% off of your entire order through our Teespring store using the promo code DailyDeco. That's all one word. That is Daily Deco. You can get 15% off of all your merch. So yeah, like I said, you're buying a present for your loved one this Christmas. You want to treat yourself to a new t-shirt. You now can, and you can save yourself 15%. The deal itself was going to end this month. So technically, we probably would have mentioned this maybe 2 more times, and then that was going to be it. But it's been so popular that we're actually going to carry it on. It makes sense, you know.
People seem to like it when we give money off things.
It's the second best promo we've ever done so far. The first ever promo that we ever did, which was Scuba Dude. Don't try and use that code, that doesn't work anymore. But yeah, which was the first code we ever used when we first obviously introduced Teespring. So yeah, this is the second time round, which is awesome. So yeah, we're going to extend it till the 31st of December. So yeah, as I said, you've got another month to get yourself, you know, a couple of new teas, and also as well because we're more involved with that side of things. You know, there's been a lot more designs going up, so hopefully it's going to be a bit more refreshed than it was before, because I think last time we were spread too thin, weren't we, Mark? So we couldn't concentrate on doing little quirky designs or whatever, or limited runs.
it was always an afterthought if we had time.
Yes.
Like, oh yeah, let's do something.
Whereas now we can. And also as well, if you have purchased something from our Teespring store, please share it on Instagram. So tag us in the picture, and also use the hashtag DailyDeco just to link everything up. One, if we like your picture, we will share it in our stories. So again, hopefully that will increase your following on Instagram. And then also as well, 2, if lots and lots of people do it, we actually might turn it into a competition. Which is going to be pretty cool. So yeah, please tag us in your, take a picture, you wearing a tee, take a picture of your, you in your face mask, if you put a how's my diving sticker on your car or on your cylinder, not that you should do that, but take a picture of it, put it on Instagram, tag us in it, put the hashtag DailyDeco, and then we'll like it obviously, and if we love the picture, we'll share it on our social. And again, the more people do that, the more opportunity we'll get to potentially run a competition, to include some snaps. But that is it. So again, I will say it one more time, even though I'm doing 2 fingers on the screen. One more time. That is Daily Deco to get 15% off of your entire order. So yeah, in the promo code at the bottom at checkout, type in Daily Deco, all one word, to save yourself some wonga. Anyway, now that is painfully over. Let's jump straight back into the questions. So the next question is from Tyler De Niro, and he left this question on, again, 6 things you need on a night dive. He says, hello. Hello, General Kenobi. Is that it? Is that the meme? General Kenobi? Anyway, moving on. I know this is a bit off topic. I think that's in base of the video for a comment in this store. This is actually a perfect question and topic. He goes, I just got the Apex WTX30 wing, and the corrugated hose is too long. I was going to switch out to the 12-inch hose, but now I'm wondering what size inflator hose should I pair with the new 12-inch corrugated ? If anyone can help me out, I would really appreciate it. So Mark, help him out now. Do it.
Just literally measure it.
No, I need more complex answer.
I mean, that's effectively it. So the best thing to do is to literally assemble all your gear and kind of put it on, and then get someone to measure with like a tape measure or a piece of string. Literally how long you need that hose to go over your left-hand shoulder, and then touch your first stage, and then go for the nearest size. Failing that, just fit the old longer hose, and then do the exact same thing, only measure like how much excess hose you have, and then take that off the length of the hose. It's as simple as that hose measurement. Just measure how long of a hose you need. It depends where your first stages are. I mean, on a D30 it'll probably be on a single, so it'll be in the middle, but just buy the length of hose that you actually need.
There we go. I hope that helps you out. I've just noticed the next question is from Christ. We've had him already. Christos. But I've put Instagram direct, so basically I'm guessing he's messaged us one on Facebook and one on Instagram, and I've just put them together. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's a fantastic question. So he asks, "Hey guys, it's really cold here in Denmark." Yeah, I'm guessing so. It's time for some dry gloves. I have the Hestra Heavy Merino gloves as liners, but they're no longer warm enough. My dry gloves can only fit one layer, so I either get the warmest liners or I need to go up a size on the dry gloves. I saw that Mark has the Icelandic wool liners coming with the QB. Is that how you pronounce that? QB dry glove system. I would like to know if they're warm enough or on their own, or if I need more of a layering. What's your opinion on rag wool liners, Mark?
So I always preferred natural fibers over sort of artificial stuff. I've tried sort of fleece sort of liners. They do the job, but they're not quite as good as sort of natural. I have heard good things about rag wool. That's RAGG wool. They're surprisingly warm, and I've heard good things about, is it alpaca wool?
Yes, that's quite
so. So yeah, I mean, but to answer your question, I mean, merino is pretty darn good. There are slightly warmer ones, but actually, if you can only fit a pair of thin merino wool liners in your dry gloves, I'd go up a size, because then you're just going to get that much more sort of insulation underneath. You are going to lose dexterity if you start sort of layering up, but if you can't feel your fingers because they're cold, then you've lost your dexterity anyway. So yeah, I'd go up a size in your dry gloves, and put another sort of pair. But yeah, I do like sort of rag wool. They do well, and they do last quite a very long time as well.
Cool, man. I actually have maybe some slight input on.
I can say you're quite good on gloves and fibers.
Yeah, from the hiking side of elements. So merino is fantastic. It's the best natural warmth insulation that you can get, like in that sort of thing. There are two things that you need to remember when it comes to merino lining. So even though, say for instance, you've got a thin layer, but it's merino, if the blend is like a mixture of merino, so say for instance you have a merino and a synthetic blend, if the blend, you have to look at the tag and say, look at the actual, how much percentage should we say of what's gone in there. If the blend is 60% or higher of merino, that's standard, that's quite okay. If it's less, your hands are going to get cold, basically. So you want more natural mix than you want a synthetic mix. If you can, go for pure merino. And if you go for pure merino, make sure that it's, if it says it on there, make sure that the merino itself comes from New Zealand. If it's a blend, if it comes from Thailand or someone like that, the quality of the merino is actually pretty rubbish.
Yeah, merino with a small M.
It's basically because the merino that comes from New Zealand, those sheep have been on the mountainside for like majority of the year. They literally take them down, shear them, and stick them back up. So they're up there 365 days of the year. I've seen videos of them. They round them up on their little not go-karts, the 4x4 things.
Quad bikes, yeah.
Yeah, the quad bikes, those things. But yeah, so if you can go for merino, if you go for merino lining, make sure that if it's a blend, it's more on the merino side than the synthetic side. They'll last you longer and you'll be warmer. And if you go for a pure blend, or even if you do have a mix, make sure that that merino wool is from New Zealand. Because of that, it will be more expensive. So if you go, oh, these merino wool gloves, they're great, they're fantastic, you know, they're dirt cheap, it's probably because they're not good merino, or not the blend itself is like, I don't know, a 60-40 split, but it's 60 percent in the synthetic, which is not going to keep your hands warm. So yeah, like Mark said, obviously if you're going up a size, that's fantastic. If you're not, if you can't, and you still have to use liners, look at that blend mix and look at where the merino comes from, because that will make a massive difference as well. Yeah. Anyway, there you go.
On a weird tangent, you were talking about shearing sheep, and this just sparked a memory in my mind. I saw a news story this week about the Japanese have invented an injection, and they can inject sheep. And then it basically means that they can like almost pull the wool off.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
They don't have to shear it. They it's like sort of internal veet.
That's horrible.
And yeah, they just like pull the entire like jumper of wool off. I'll send you a video later.
No, don't. I don't want to see it. That's horrible. That's just mean. Like shearing a sheep, unless you get nicked, it doesn't hurt.
No.
I mean, it takes more time. You don't want to inject. No, I'm moving on now. I'm moving on. That is horrible. How dare you share that with me, Mark? Anyway, so the next question is from Paolo. Hopefully I said that right. Fernandez. He left a message, comment on the Apex RK3 fins review video. He says, what's the difference between the Apex RK3 fins and the Aqualung Rocket Fin 2?
The strap and the price.
Thanks for watching. Safe diving.
Yeah.
Well, they are the same brand, aren't they?
Yeah. Surprise. The RK3 is short for Rocket 3, and the Rocket it hasn't changed that much. The only thing they've changed is they put a spring heel strap on the RK3. The Rockets, they have just a standard like rubber strap.
Can you upgrade that?
I don't know, to be honest.
Because if you can, it might be cheaper to buy the Rocket too, and then get this spring strap and attach it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the Rocket is recreationally available. It could be. I haven't really looked into it, but yeah, as far as the actual blade of the fin itself, it doesn't have RK3 written on it, but it's exactly the same.
So yeah, they're made in the same. Literally, it goes to the Apex print and then to the Aqualung print.
I think there's a bit more to it.
No, there's not. It's exactly that. Yeah. It's exactly that. Right? You heard it here first. It's completely the same.
And the RK3 comes in different colours and different stiffnesses. But
no, they're exactly the same.
It's exactly the same.
It's interesting, isn't it? The little minute changes that they do, but yeah, you can get two separate products.
It did the job.
They did the job, definitely.
We kept telling them for years, and I was like, well, don't brand it as Aqualung, just brand it as Apex and you will sell them.
And they did. So the last question is from Derek Theophile. Again, hopefully I didn't butcher that. He left this question on question time at DOS. Number 2, he says, I'm considering moving to a full face mask as I'm having difficulty in finding one that doesn't leak water around the nose area. I have 6 different ones and they all let water in. Can you talk about the different types, maybe the pros and cons, or is there a mask that potentially might fit him? Obviously, without seeing him, maybe he's got a larger nose. Is there anything you can advise Marky Mark?
So he's got six different regular masks.
Yes.
Okay,
and they all leak. I'm guessing.
But they all leak around the nose. I mean, to be honest, all masks are going to leak. That's why we teach you how to sort of do a partial clear. considering moving to a full face mask, yeah, there are lots of benefits of sort of full face masks. Can you talk about different types, pros and cons? Oh, okay, so pros and cons of a full face mask. So the main benefit is that your entire face is covered. Pardon me. So they're much better for cold water diving because your face isn't sort of exposed, or not as much of your face is exposed to the colder waters. So they're much more comfortable. You can breathe through your nose and your mouth, so they feel a bit more natural. Yeah, they naturally defog themselves as well. So there are lots of benefits to sort of full face masks. The downsides. The cost, they're obviously more expensive than just a normal mask because they're effectively a second stage molded into a full face mask. And then you have to get that serviced. So you can't sort of get like an Apex second stage and have that fitted. It has to be that particular brand. And then of course you have to find someone who can service that particular brand. So they can be a little tricky to service, but just sort of search around for local dealers. They're quite bulky, so getting out of the water can be a bit of a pain. You either have to just leave it on, but if you're diving on a rib, it means that you have to kind of take that off and sort of put that in the water and then sort of hand up your entire unit, and then you've got this really expensive mask just kind of slinging around. You can disconnect them if you use a quick disconnect, but then you have to open up a surface air valve so you can actually breathe, because you can't breathe through that teeny tiny little tube. But if you're on the dive, you don't want to accidentally disconnect that. So there's lots of benefits to them. There's lots of sort of cons as well. So, but yeah, I mean, definitely try them out. Have a chat with your sort of your local full face mask dealer, whoever it be. I think Ocean Reef are sort of very high on my list, but there are a few others out there. And literally see if you can do a try dive with them, because a lot of the instructors will do a sort of an incentive. It's like, oh, if you're interested in investing in it and doing a course, then yeah, we'll at least do a try dive to see if you can like it. Yeah, I like them. They're a little bit different to dive on, because like if you suddenly look downwards, you have this drainage valve at the bottom, and the second stage, it's as soon as you invert them, they like to free flow. So you suddenly find that your chin starts jiggling as it's sort of just venting constantly. But yeah, I do like them. But if you really don't like water around your nose, it probably is the best way to go.
What about if we go down the standard mask? Obviously, not seeing this chap and obviously not knowing what masks he's got. You can get ones that have more pocket at the nose. They've got a larger nose profile, haven't they? Yeah, but it's just because there's water around your nose doesn't mean that's where it's leaking. That's the problem. Water's naturally going to go downwards, so it's like when someone says, "Oh, my dry suit's leaking." Oh, where's it leaking? Oh, around my knee. It's like probably not. It's just water ends up down by your feet. Yeah, it's one of those things. Like the next time you're trying on a regular sort of mask, bring a snorkel or at least a regulator mouthpiece with you, because the old sort of standard sniff test where you just put your mask on and sniff is all well and good, but then as soon as you put a mouthpiece in your mouth, your mouth is a different shape to just normal. So that's actually making these little sort of creases and sort of changing the shape of your face. So yeah, as soon as you put a regulator in, it might not sit sort of perfectly fine. And if you have a mask that does leak, don't tighten the straps, or don't over tighten the straps, because a lot of the time people think that water's getting in, so they tighten it. But if you tighten it too much, you're actually squishing the skirt of the mask, and that actually distorts its shape. So tightening it too much actually makes things worse. Okay, wicked. That's all the questions from people that I've selected for that episode, so well done, congratulations. There are two things I want to just quickly briefly mention. That there has been generic comments and this seems to be a regular occurrence. So the first one is obviously why we don't show pictures in daily Deco at the moment. It's actually mainly editing time. It's a little bit different where when we used to film daily Scuba News, I had the morning, the day to edit it, to film it. We don't have that luxury depending on upload speeds, because obviously I have to get the data from Mark. So basically I don't want to be editing or uploading this video at 8 o'clock at night. So
it's a catch-22, isn't it? Because it's more topical and more, because Daily Scuba News, we'd sometimes film like a couple of days in advance. So that meant that the new stories weren't that new. They were actually quite old stories, whereas this one we kind of filmed the day beforehand, and because we're not sort of in our studio, I literally have to upload this footage and the audio and then like email it to Sean, and that takes hours, and then Sean has to download it, which takes hours, then Sean does all the editing, and then he has to upload it, which takes hours. So it's a matter of the more like fiddling in the middle is just taking up time. So it was one of that was definitely the main reason. And also as well, a lot of putting images from an article up or another video up is very hit and miss when it comes to copyright strikes. So if there's a video of something, I don't put that video in this video anymore. That's never going to happen ever again, unless I have physical permission to do it, or I know that it's readily available or whatever. If I know that I can get away with putting that video up, I will do it. But generally videos are completely out of the question, because as soon as we get a copyright strike, or because we have someone else's video, then the ad revenue from this video will then go to them. It's a very great area. And also, unfortunately, that is now happening on pictures. So even though with a picture, normally what you do, you take it from the article and then you put in the picture source and then where the article comes from or who sent that article, and then in the description below is where I put all the sources where we obviously get our information. That's obviously where the source for that image will be put in there. For thumbnails it's actually okay, but for physical videos, if I was to put another picture in there, there has been times where it either blocks the image. We've had to take the video down just purely for the fact that it's someone else's image, even though we've put the source in there and we've related it back to the original article. It's one of those things where, it's a bit tricky, basically. When we get the studio, when we get a bit more time, where I can actually properly officiate things and link things and look at the original sources of where images and videos come from, then you'll see pictures and videos hopefully popping back up. But it's these things need to be shotgun, nice quick edits for me to upload again, because it's still 4K as well. So it's not like it's nice and easy. It's not an easy fix. It's not an easy upload. It's not an easy download. It takes time. And then also as well, the whole copyright, it really is a wild west. You either get away with it or you're absolutely and utterly, you just get bent over. And and the second one, obviously a lot of people are in our advice are saying, well, hold on, a lot of our videos, our advice stuff are seem to be Mark talking directly into the camera. Again, I've got two things to say about that. One, it's pretty much always been that case. The past year, we've never actually shown people physically or Mark physically do stuff or show specific things about a product. One, that was just because of time. Obviously, going down the line, that's probably going to change because we've got more time to actually put into these videos. And two, the reason for it is he's filming it in his dive locker at home. He's going to talk about stuff. You can only talk like the cylinders and that sort of thing. You can only show what you've got. It's not like we're attached to a warehouse like we were before. Even when it comes to the studio, when we get a new studio, we're not attached to the Simply Scuba warehouse. So it's not like we can just go into the warehouse, pick it, and then film it. Unfortunately, we don't have that option. But again, when we have the studio, once we've got a plan, there could be a, going forward, hopefully,
my thing's just cut out, Mark. That's well annoying.
Oh no.
There you go. I'm going to carry on. I would have just blipped out then, hello, I'm back. Don't worry, I'm back. You would have just had a nice picture of Mark going, what's going on, Sean? But yeah, anyway, like I was saying beforehand, hopefully when we get the new studio, we can get things shipped to there, ready for us to film it. Just, it's logistics at the end of the day, isn't it?
And also filming, because it's me at home alone. I can't pull focus on myself that easily. So I can't do a moving close-up of me doing something because I'm doing that something. I can't deal with the camera.
Yeah,
it'll change. It'll change. It's all because we're literally filming at home, so it's a little bit tricky at the moment.
Yes.
But it will get better. Once the studio is finalised. Bless it.
Eventually. There's so many tiers you have to go through to get. We'll get something eventually. Hopefully within the new year, something will get sorted. It needs to. Let's be honest. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So we don't show pictures because of copyright and editing time. And the reason why we don't show products or that many systems in products is because one, we're filming at home, and two, we're not actually attached to the warehouse.
Yeah.
So and also three as well, they probably don't have the stock on the website at the moment.
No.
So there is that big one.
That's it. Nice.
But yeah. Okay, and that's it, guys. That's the end of the show. I hope everything's okay. If you've got any questions, again, a lot of people have been putting your questions in these videos, so please do that. But again, you can message us directly on Facebook and on Instagram. We'll see that. And you can pop a question in any video. We will find it. And if we like it, or if Mark can answer it, or it's a subject, or it's a question that we think that we want to share with everyone, we of course will put it in this video. So let's end it there. Mark, I'm happy. You happy?
Yeah,
cool, man.
All good.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say?
As ever, any questions, comments, queries, pop them down in the question or in the comments anywhere, and Sean and myself will find them. That's it. Thank you for watching, everybody, and of course, safe diving.
Catch you later, dudes. That's right. I'm ending it like that.
Getting lazy.